Well, for more on the U.S. economy and the labor market, Minarik joins us now. He's Senior Vice President and Director of Research at the Committee for Economic Development. Always good to have you on.
Thanks, Rachelle. Good to see you.
So first, break down your reaction to this latest jobs report and the most notable highlights.
Well, this is really a very attractive jobs report. Increases in employment pretty much across the industrial spectrum. Drop in the measured unemployment rate. As you know, we have a survey of households and we have a survey of employers. Sometimes they give you mixed messages. In this case, you had good numbers on both sides. There are healthy increases in wages. It's really an attractive picture. The one troublesome footnote is that the numbers were picked up about a month ago, and the Delta variant of the coronavirus has really done its worst since the time of that survey. So we're going to have to see what that is going to do in the next round of numbers and in the days to come. But the survey that we saw today is about as attractive a picture as you're ever going to see.
So then, given that the Delta variant wasn't really factored into that last report, what does this monthly report tell us in terms of the overall health of the U.S. economy and whether it's trending in the right direction?
It's moving very well. It indicates that we're getting jobs back in some of the industries, really in almost all of the industries that were really adversely affected in the pandemic. So that's a good picture. We do have issues with respect to the availability of workers, so that's something that we need to be concerned about. But really, in terms of economic growth, in terms of the growth of jobs, in terms of the wages that people are able to earn, this shows a great deal of progress from what was really a very bad place a year and a half ago.
Indeed, and we certainly saw some communities hit harder, not just from COVID, but also from job losses and not being able to get their businesses back. Which communities are still having a difficult time getting back into the labor force, and why?
It's really more denominated by industries, and in terms of the worker populations that are adversely affected. Disproportionately, the workers who are not on the job now are women relative to men, more than half women, whereas the employment is much closer to 50-50. That is in part because of issues with respect to child care. It's also because women were disproportionately employed by some of the sectors that were worst affected by the pandemic, like leisure and hospitality and education. So really, it's been a difficult time for women, but we're making progress in that direction, absent the effects of the Delta variation, which is, of course, hanging over us now.
So then, as we're seeing these new jobs added, we're still seeing some employers saying they're still having a difficult time filling their positions. Why is that? And what can they actually do then to attract workers back to their businesses?
It's really important to note that if you went back, if you could take a time machine back to 2019 and ask employers what are the problems that they face, many would tell you that they were having a hard time getting labor. There is a long-term demographic shift in the United States. The baby boom is aging out of the workforce. Generations of new workers entering the workforce are relatively smaller. So as a result, the size of the labor force has not been growing as rapidly as it had been in the past. The pandemic has added to that problem, because of problems with respect to child care, because of many workers who are concerned about their own safety, because of workers who have been affected by closures of businesses in industries that employed people who did not have technical skills and therefore don't have many alternatives. So there are a number of phenomena here that are continuing. Some people are concerned about the generosity of unemployment benefits, but that's pretty much over. It's all going to be going away next month. And we're likely to be getting into the same demographic squeeze that we were facing even before the pandemic. And even for jobs that are paying multiples of the minimum benefits that are available for unemployment compensation.
And that context, very important there. Thank you so much. Joe Minarik there, Senior Vice President and Director of Research at the Committee for Economic Development.